R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans, Louisiana, 9 p.m. on Saturday, December 15th, between the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders and the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
Now, Jeff, you know that App State is hot, hot, hot. We've said it plenty of times, and it's even been sung several times. So, App State,
hot.
enough said. I don't even need to go through the rest of this. App State's going to win this game. They're winning by an average margin of 21 points per game, and they are favored by 7 coming into this one. Middle Tennessee comes in off the 2-point loss to UAB, who they'd beaten the week before. So they're all down and, sad about that. And I just don't think they'll be able to pick it back up and beat these Mountaineers. But getting deeper into it, can't really say enough about sophomore Darrynton Evans for the Mountaineers. Rumbled for 1,000 yards this season on just 165 attempts and has been a major factor in App State's 10-2 season. The fact that App State was bumped out of the top 25 is a travesty. Shouldn't have happened. It should have been in there. I think they're better than Fresno State, who now sits at number 21. It's BS.
A travesty.
This is the 4th straight bowl appearance for App State and the only team in history to win bowl games in its first 3 years after transitioning to the FBS. Now, you'll recall that they shut out Toledo last year, 34-0, and they are hot, hot, hot and won't be cooling down anytime soon. On the flip side, for Middle Tennessee, it's hard for me to root for father-son teams. Like, we get it. Your son's the best. Doesn't mean you need to make him the quarterback, even if he is the Conference USA MVP. And that is what Brent Stockstill is. And he's actually a pretty fun story. Like, he's a senior this year, and as a high school senior, he tore his ACL and proceeded to then play the following week, throwing for 373 yards and 4 touchdowns. So I'm sure they'll bring this up in the New Orleans Bowl, like as it's getting further into the game. Because
John, you're not even going to be able to watch this game. It's the same time as the Browns.
I'll just have to flip back and forth. I mean, it starts later than the Browns, so Browns will end, and after our victory celebration, we can finish out the New Orleans Bowl.
Sure.
But really, Brent Stockstill, he had that great game, and while at Middle Tennessee, he's broken his collarbone, he's cracked his sternum, and this will be his final game, so hopefully he can stay healthy throughout it. It's his final game ever, most likely. So let's see if he can end on a good note. On his career, he's got 12,000 yards, 105 touchdowns, and 33 interceptions. The Blue Raiders are going to be sad to see him go. I think in his last game ever, Blue Raiders do lose to App State. I'm going App State 35-21.
App State lost their head coach, Scott Satterfield, after their first ever Sun Belt championship game. It was the first ever Sun Belt championship game in the conference history, and they were able to win it. That's pretty cool. Now they lost their head coach, Scott Satterfield. He's going to Louisville to be the head coach there. So they are playing this game with an interim head coach, unless they, announce somebody's going to be the head coach here in the next 2 days. But yeah, I'm right there with you. App State, we've been following them ever since we learned who they were in college. Darrynton Evans, 1,000-yard runner, getting the ball, getting 1,000 yards extra in this game. It's going to be historical. 1,000
extra yards in this game?
Yes.
This game alone. So he's going to finish with 2,000 on the season.
A historical game for Darrynton Evans.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. He's going to have 1,000 yards in one game.
But realistically, probably around 100 yards for Darrynton Evans. He's going to have a good game, and the App State Mountaineers are going to win. A wise man and degenerate man once told me, never bet against Appalachian State or Troy or Temple. Always take the spread on those 3. So, got to take it. App State wins by more than 7.
There you go.